The main reason you die on your hardcore character is not a lack of skill, your choice of lead keyboard, or your preferred add-ons. Instead, the reason you die is bad decisions. So simple, right? Always play well rested, never ever be greedy, avoid all the griefers, and just don't die, 5-hit. Except, this is the real world of Warcraft, and you probably don't need me to tell you that. Instead, let's focus on some rules that encompass strategies, mindset, and goals that can greatly reduce your likelihood of dying. When it comes to hardcore, it is essential to adopt a cautious and calculated approach. Always remember, if you die, you have to start over. So that will certainly be much slower than just taking your time. And with this, I am implying that if you just had the patience in the first place, it might take you a couple of minutes longer there and then, but in the long run, it is definitely not worth it to be hasty. So the first rule is, take your time. Take the time to drink and heal up. Take the time to clear the whole camp, take the time to kill that mob that dazed you, take the time to avoid unnecessary risks, and don't be a speedy, greedy demon because it will cost you. Go slow to go fast. Jump on the ledge, just jump on the ledge. World of Warcraft is a dangerous place, filled to the brim with respawning mobs, healing enemies, and even the day's chance is too damn high. Things will eventually go south, no matter how patient you are. And for that reason, it is crucial that you always have an escape plan, which is our second rule.
Where are we going? No, please! Someone!
If you're not AFK in your capital city, you should pretty much always be thinking about how to escape the situation you are in should something unpredictable happen. Unpredictable things happen all the time. You forgot you were low on mana. You didn't know the mob respawns right here. You swear that these mobs could never interrupt before. All of these things are completely natural and they will surprise you. No matter how seasoned of a veteran you are, so make sure you're always ready to run away safely. The pro gamer move is not to voluntarily get yourself into sticky situations. Positioning matters, and if you have your escape plan in mind, you will also try to avoid sticky situations. Sticky situations are always in caves. Rule number 3, never go into caves. Unless a cave is literally one room and 20 yards deep, there is really no point in you going in there. That quest you want to complete is probably not worth it, and you are better off just by farming 20-ish mobs instead. Caves are always filled to the brim of bad stuff. Mobs run around, social aggro is all over the place, and even if you want to escape, there is usually only one exit that is already filled with respawns. Not to mention that cave-dwelling mobs tend to be the big bad cousin of what's outside. They are often tougher and have meaner abilities than their outdoorsy counterparts. Now, I've mentioned that you should have an escape plan and be cautious of caves, but how is that ever going to happen if you aren't aware of your surroundings? A fatal mistake that happens over and over again is the player's tunnel vision, and one way to avoid it would be to just zoom out. Now, I understand role-playing just as much as the next guy, that being I don't understand it at all, but intimate knowledge of your character's shoulder textures is not really crucial to the plan of staying alive. Knowing what's around you, however, is very crucial, and having more of the world on your screen might in fact greatly help you be cognizant of the dangers that surround you.
Take a look at this! Jesus Christ!
There's DPS. Now let's talk about DPS. Can we talk about DPS? Please, Mac, I'm dying to talk about DPS with you all day, okay? Weapon skill. This phrase keeps coming up over and over again. Every day the officers and GM are spamming. Weapon skill, weapon skill. This entire fucking folder is all fucking weapon skill. So I say to myself, I gotta learn about this stuff. Gotta Google it, but I gotta know what exactly is going on, otherwise I'll never make the prio list. So Google weapon skill, and what do I find out, Mac? What do I find out? There is no weapon skill. The concept does not exist. So I decide, shit, buddy, I gotta dig a little deeper. There's no weapon skill? You gotta be kidding me. I got folders full of skill. Alright, so I start typing my tickets to those game masters at Blizzard. And they knock on their door and I say, Blizzard, Blizzard, gotta talk to you about skill. And when I get a reply, what do I find? A goddamn automated message. There is no GMs at Blizzard. Mac, half of these combat systems have been made up. This is a goddamn gacha game. A while back I made a video about weapon skill, explaining all the ins and outs of this mysterious system. TLDR, if you engage a target that is higher level than you, that means you receive a penalty to your hit rating and crit chance, while the target has a much easier time of avoiding your attacks, be it weapon damage or spells. On the other hand, if you're attacking a lower level target, you're the one getting improved crit chance and hit chance, with your target having a much harder time of hitting you back, simply because of the level difference. That, my friends, would be my rule 5. Avoid higher level content. There is very little reason to do painful quests that require more time to complete. Rare is the orange quest that is worth it, especially in hardcore, where mistakes are high and RNG can end days of your character progression. Taking on targets your level or lower is the way to go. It is much faster and the risk is almost non-existent compared to taking on an orange mob. Try see for yourself, or maybe you already have, but believe me, your time is better spent running to a new zone than dying on this hill.
Think for yourself. Question authority. Think for yourself. Question authority.
Sometimes it might seem that there is no alternative, and that all the quests in the lands are done. Or maybe you are curious about some new quest in your hardcore journey. What is this Videre elixir, you might ask yourself? Well, before you ask anyone else, Rule 6. Do your own research. Too many deaths are due to ignorance. There are death traps in this world, and if you aren't very familiar with Kalimdor, you're very likely to be caught in one. The rules above might help you survive, but doing your own research will help you once again avoid some very nasty encounters. Everyone knows how easy it is to do the Nesingware quests, but not everyone knows how painful killing temporal parasites might end up being.
What? What is this? What is this? Why does this exist? This is magic powers. Joe, explain this to me. Why does this exist?
It goes without saying that a Petri flask saves lives in hardcore. This thing turns you into an invisible rock just enough so you can cheese your way out that dungeon. On the other hand, grenades, target dummies, healing potions, and other consumables are much more affordable way to increase your survivability. While a person sometimes forgets that he has one of these magical life-saving items, it is all too often that our little Timmy feels like the situation is not dire enough to warrant spending a big healing potion. That, my friends, is the cheapos fallacy. Don't save your consumables, or how I call it, Rule 7. It all ties into taking your time and not being greedy, but at the end of the day, it is way easier to farm some gold for a new stack of consumables than it is to start your long journey over. Get into the habit of just using the items you have with you, since there's no worse feeling than dying with a bag full of things that could have saved you.
Anyway, like I was saying, shrimp is the fruit of the sea. You can barbecue it, boil it, broil it, bake it, saute it. There's shrimp kebabs, shrimp creole.
I know that all of the consumes cost gold, but the next rule is precisely about that. Invest into your professions. Professions have always been worth it, no matter how you play the game. But in hardcore, they pay off tenfold. You can gather your own herbs for countless utility potions, you can get your own ore and make your own target dummies, or you can just fish and live your life burdened by limitless gold. All of the professions vastly enhance your character and bring you a much needed influx of money, which in turn gives you access to even more tools that help you avoid the spirit realm. More tools is more better, as Medivh once said, but that will only get you so far. Now, with everything being said, you might just be enjoying yourself, thinking you're surely going to make it this time. Pride goes before a fall. Rule 9, stay humble. Everyone makes mistakes, and I do mean everyone. You've seen those classic hardcore moments where even the most grizzled veterans die, and the bigger your ego gets, the more likely you are to fuck up. So remember, you're just human and you're going to make those mistakes. No need to be cocky when you do make them, Mr. Pro Player. And if you finally do decide to be a hotshot and try some risky pro maneuver that only works in your head, you should definitely abide by the most important rule. Don't endanger others. Whatever you do with your spare time is none of anyone's business. If you want to solo every elite quest in the game, that's on you. But you should never take any of your fellow soldiers with you. If you have to AFK or have your special moment, just do everyone a favor and announce yourself so the rest of the world can run away. But if you follow all the rules, you will be a joy to play with, and I'm sure you will make it to NAXX this time.